Welcome back to my channel, Mzansi Screen Time. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And please turn on your notification bell so you never miss any updates. Because here we talk about everything happening on your favorite shows, unfiltered, honest and real. Now, let's get into it. Uthando Nes'Thembu has always been a show that divides opinions. Some people watch for culture, others for family dynamics. And let's be honest, many of us watch for the drama no one wants to say out loud. But what's happening now feels different. This doesn't feel like the usual back and forth between wives. This doesn't feel like surface-level tension. This feels heavy. The focus has quietly shifted to Khwela, and if you've been watching closely, you can tell this storyline is not meant to end peacefully. Khwela has never been the loudest voice in the room. She's not confrontational. She doesn't demand attention. She doesn't perform for the camera. And that's exactly why people are worried. Because when someone who has stayed quiet for years finally begins to open up, it usually means silence is no longer protecting them, it's harming them. And that's the energy surrounding this situation. Now, what viewers are reacting to is not just what's being said, but what's being implied. There's a strong sense that Khwela has been carrying emotional weight for a long time, weight that may have been dismissed or overlooked. And now that it's being acknowledged, the question is, at what cost? Because in families like this, acknowledgement doesn't always come with support. Sometimes it comes with resistance. Let's be honest. In polygamous households, equality often exists more in theory than in practice. While things may look stable on the outside, the emotional realities can be very different inside. Some voices are louder, some feelings matter more, and some sacrifices are expected quietly. Many viewers believe Khwela has been one of the wives expected to endure in silence. And what's making people uncomfortable is the possibility that she may finally be challenging that role. And when a woman steps outside the box she's been placed in, the entire system starts to shake. Suddenly, uncomfortable questions come up. Who gets emotional safety? Who gets validation? And who is expected to just understand? There's also tension around how the rest of the household will respond. History shows us that when one wife speaks about her pain, it doesn't always bring unity. Sometimes it creates distance. Sometimes it leads to subtle isolation. And sometimes it turns into quiet punishment disguised as tradition. And viewers are already asking, will Khwela be supported or blamed? Now let's talk about Musa. Every emotional shift in that household traces back to leadership, and many viewers are carefully questioning whether emotional impact is truly being considered or whether structure and tradition make it easier to overlook emotional damage as long as things appear stable. Because stability on paper does not always mean peace in reality. What makes this situation feel so intense is how raw it is. This doesn't feel edited for entertainment. It doesn't feel scripted for ratings. It feels like something that has been building for a long time and has finally reached a breaking point. And once that happens, there's no undoing it. Viewers are divided. Some feel Khwela deserves the space to speak, no matter how uncomfortable it makes others. Others believe certain things should stay private, and some feel this moment is long overdue, that silence protected everyone except the person carrying the pain. This storyline is hitting at a time when audiences are more aware and less willing to accept emotional neglect disguised as tradition. People aren't just watching anymore, they are analyzing. There's also fear that once Khwela speaks openly, she may regret it, because women who challenge emotional expectations often face consequences, not always loudly but subtly. Distance, coldness, being labeled as difficult or disrespectful. And that's what makes this moment so tense. What we're witnessing isn't just a storyline, it's something many women relate to. Being expected to be strong, to be patient, to sacrifice quietly for the sake of peace. And the moment you say, "I'm not okay," suddenly you're the problem. And now that the silence is breaking, everything will shift. Relationships will change, dynamics will adjust, and the illusion that everything is fine has already cracked. So the real question isn't whether Khwela should speak. The real question is whether the household is prepared to listen, not to defend, not to explain, but to truly hear her. Because listening requires humility, and humility is often the hardest. This is where I'll pause and ask you, do you think emotional honesty strengthens families or exposes cracks that were always there? Do you believe Khwela is brave or vulnerable in a system that may not protect her? Let's talk in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. And as always, thank you for watching Mzansi Screen Time.